In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day to you. This is the first day of the month of July 2024, and we are here. My name is Godwin Iweajunwa, and we're here on our weekly news update, Monday starters, Between the Lines. Between the Lines is SSM way of putting out updates, news, making headlines, featuring top news analysis, and deciphering world events. This is it, Between the Lines. I'm here with my colleagues, my coordinators from different parts of the world. In far away, Istanbul, Turkey. Turkey is our diva, Iema Benson. Iema, you're welcome to Between the Lines.
Thank you so much, Massive Mark, and welcome viewers to Between the Lines.
You're welcome. Also joining us, Iema, is our big brother, our man, Olayinka Raji, far away, Lagos, Nigeria. Raji, you're welcome to Between the Lines this first day of July.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again this evening. Good evening, Yama and Mark.
Yes.
Good evening.
And good evening to our viewers from all around the world. Welcome to another fantastic.
Yes. Thank you. You can't believe that we can't do this without our big brother in Toronto, Canada, Sir George Chukwu. And I see the happy something day behind you. Sir George, happy Canada Day. Sir George, we need to hear your voice. Sir George. Anyway, everybody, you're all welcome. First day of the month of July 2024. Iema, what do you expect in July? What are those expectations? I mean, new month, new dreams, new plan, and everything. So what's on your own?
Okay, for myself, I would like to, of course, grow in what I'm doing, experience more beautiful turnouts for my talk show and every other thing I'm doing for my book and everything. And then for SSM, of course, I would like more viewers, more like it should go more viral and the world should hear about SSM. And for Nigeria, I'd love to get better.
Yeah, you get better. That's a beautiful one. Raji, yes, new month, new season, new everything. Tell us what are your expectations?
According to numerology, 7 is perfection. So we are just entering the month of perfection. And that's where I expect perfection from all things that we are doing, from SSM, from our viewers, from the country, from our friends, and from all our supporters.
Wow.
We are entering the month of perfection.
Month of perfection. 7. George, now is he on? Oh, George.
We still can hear him.
Yes, we still can hear Big George.
Yes.
Okay, I know he will fix it. Anyway, guys, you're both welcome. Yes, the month of perfection, and of a truth, things will really take its shape and be perfected in this new month. Let's come to some of the news breaking out. What we've been following here in the studio. UK government is warning Russia of interference in their general election. I don't know if you guys are following this story. Serious story, and I wish our man was here too. Moscow, Russia, Godwin eBay. So what we might just do is maybe hop out of this one, and maybe Godwin could come by then, and we'll talk more. So he gives us the outbreak. Let's talk on the cholera. Raji, cholera is still ravaging Nigeria. Now they say it's in the prison. Kirikiri prison in Lagos is has been said to have the outbreak. It has hit the Kirikiri prison, and this is also making WHO, World Health Organization, to step in. Raji, cholera. we knew this might not go, it might not just go down like that. What's happening?
Mm.
Did you hear the news of Kirikiri?
When you use the word, such a word like ravaging,
Mhm.
that is frightening. It's not
Ah,
ravaging. It's not ravaging. It has just, in fact, outside the prison walls, it seems to have been uh, completely held down. So um,
okay.
the public now is quite safe. How we entered Kirikiri is like giving these guys double punishment. They are already suffering. So why do you have to now, at least, because easily, because most of the food that they eat is not hygienic, is not it doesn't it's not nourishing. So it will be a serious issue for them to have a cholera on top of the malnourishment that they normally suffer. So I think something drastic should be done in their case.
Something drastic should be done. So you're telling us
Yes,
now
thank
that
you.
it's under control. They've been
It's
able
under
to
control.
contain
Yes,
it. Yes, George,
yes.
can you hear us now?
You can hear
Oh,
us. We can hear him.
we can hear him. Okay, Iyama. Yes, the Lagos State government said they are receiving additional support from WHO because
Yeah.
of the outbreak of cholera in Kirikiri. Kirikiri prison is a prison in Lagos, one maximum prison center. And if cholera
Mm.
could be there, it's dangerous. That might cause. I mean, but Raji is saying let's not exaggerate things. But what do you say, Yema?
I think,
Okay.
can you hear me
Okay,
now?
we can hear
Yes,
you,
we can
George.
hear
Yeah,
you
we
Yes,
can
now.
hear
yes.
you.
Beautiful.
Okay, being that there are also people that are there for some time, like for a short term, and they might not be guilty of what they're charged, and we should just think that these people will likely live there in the nearest future. At least the government should make sure that the food they take is clean, like Salaju said. The food they take is clean. The people that are making their food, another prison in Nigeria is not always very clean. We will agree on that. So that should be
Mm.
looked into to manage their food intake. The place is always not clean, actually. Where they sleep, the toilet,
Mm.
we know that for sure. The latrine. I don't want to say this. I don't know, but we know that where they sleep, sometimes they use that for their
Overcrowded.
inconvenience. So the government should do something about that.
Mm.
A lot should be done. George, it's good to hear your volume up. How are you,
Yes,
George?
yes.
It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day.
It's
Tell
Canada
us.
Day. Yes, we're
Tell us.
celebrating Canada Day today, Independence Day. There's
Yes.
beautiful sunshine from Canada. This
Mm.
is how we are celebrating. And by the way, Young John is with us today. He's performing on Canada Day, so we are attending that concert later on this afternoon.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a beautiful
John.
one. Now, talking about the prison situation and cholera, I believe that authorities should make sure that everything that is being suggested for the people outside should also be done on the inside in order that
Mhm.
these people will not become victims of statistics,
Okay.
because they live so in close proximity with one another. And if whatever that is bringing it in there, this cholera, is it the food or the drinks that they are giving to them? So they have to make sure that they maintain whatever that is needed to be maintained in order not to spread that disease among the people. Because that could be a lot of death that will take place in the prison if care is not taken.
If care is not taken.
Mm.
Yes, WHO had to step in, George. And what we
Mm.
heard is they're coming with some special doctors, and they're bringing some services, some medications, and all that. So let's see how it turns out. But you guys should really follow this. Raji, you've always played down on this news, but it keeps escalating.
I'm
It
not
keeps
I'm not
escalating.
playing down or anything. Look, no, I'm not playing down or anything.
Okay,
I'm following what the government is saying. The
okay.
outbreak in the prison is very, very unfortunate because the prisoners are already suffering. They are malnourished, and most of them may not even be guilty of whatever they are in prison for. And therefore, it is double punishment for them to be subjected to cholera again. So everything that the
By the
government
way,
needs to
you
do.
say, Raji, when
Mhm.
did you start
Yes.
trusting what the government is saying? I thought you've called them a liar, and they have maintained that that thing that you said. You've always said that they don't tell the truth, especially the media guy
Okay.
Ajelele will come and say one thing and another person. So when did you start listening to them to believe them to the point of coming over here and playing it down?
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
playing. You are getting me. I don't know why you are attacking me now. I'm not a government spokesman. I'm just
You
saying.
said
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that well, the government so far has assured us that in the public cholera has gone down seriously. But I'm worried that it has happened in the prisons, and I'm saying that the prisoners are already malnourished, and to be subjected to cholera is like double punishment, and it is not fair. It is very, very unfair to them, and that whatever government
okay.
should do must be done drastically to curtail it.
To curtail it. Yes, that's
Yes,
what we're all saying. So, but
yes,
the news is it has there's an outbreak in Kirikiri prison, and because
yes,
of the emergency and probably how very critical the situation is, WHO is stepping in. So, WHO stepping in means it's not something to play down on, and but we hope government they come to this one. I think George, this also it should interest the federal level, not just the state, because what has been happening is the state government of Lagos, the health commissioner that has been going around on this. But at this point, I think the federal government should step in so that this thing don't escalate more than necessary. George, what do you think?
Of course they should. They are the head. They're supposed to be driving the car while others are following. So being the head, then what that means is that the directions that they give to the states and to everybody else ought to be followed because they're the driving force in Nigeria. Whether it
Yeah.
goes good or goes bad, will fall on the head. And
Mhm.
so that's what the case is. I think they should give the direction and let the states follow, the governors, and like to ensure, that it's being followed too, not just talking, because we have actually mastered fakery in Nigeria. It's very, very unfortunate. Something will happen, they will say one thing and another person will come and say something else. So there's a lot of disconnect between some of these departments. But so
Yes.
far, so good because
Mhm.
Nigeria has been good in maintaining some of these, like the pandemic and all these
Mhm.
diseases. They know how to do it. So I
No,
think that they're doing good. Yeah, and
okay.
the public is aware, so
mm,
they should be careful. Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, the public is aware, so they
Mm.
should be careful. Okay, let's bring it down now, guys. Also here in Europe, I don't know if you guys were following that. We've had this very heavy rain. Torrential rain has
Mm.
leashed out on Italy, France, Switzerland, everywhere. The rain has been taking a lot of places, and what we had is 4 people died through with the border of Italy and Swiss. That's a town called Techino. So
Mm.
it's getting serious. What we don't know is, when it rains like this, sometimes they also open up some things. Dams are open, big gallows and all that, and rain wipes farms, houses, cars, and takes things
Mm.
away. So this is what we're following presently in Italy, here in the West. I don't know if any one of you have anything to say about that. Very strong rain. Let's see a clip of how it
Yes.
is. So this one is aerial view of Italy, northern part of Italy, um, bordering with Switzerland, and the rain is really taking off houses, structures, bridges. Um, so this is what we're following. This happened during the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday till now. See how you have those massive brick, mountain brick, it splitters rocks and mountains and to where people is. So there you go. People being evacuated, people being carried out with helicopter, and that's it. So deadly storm, deadly rain all through four countries in Europe. And numbers are probably by now the numbers would have increased. Number of dead people, people that have been, yes, waterlogged, their homes waterlogged, their businesses and everything. So I don't know if anybody has anything to say. That's just
No,
a European update from us.
just a side comment. I hope that the downpours will also sweep away Macron and his government and bring in a new government in France.
Raji,
just, just
yes, we're coming to that anyway. We have
yes,
an update on what's happening in France because I
in
was
France.
tuned
Yes.
into France news. A lot that was happening as at yesterday. No, it started Saturday till this morning, and it's really strong. Now let's come to that now. Yes, in fact, that's erupted into protests. Protest is also going on the streets of Paris and most parts of France because there's a party called National Party, the far right National Rally.
The far right, yes.
Yeah, the far right. So the woman there has defeated Macron. There's a woman called Le Pen. She's the president of the head of the far right party. So her party was able to give Macron a round victory of 33% of the vote yesterday. And what that means is Macron's center party is now coming third in place with just 20%. So Macron this morning was running around looking for how he could probably walk his way through, but it's not working like that. What we have is people are saying he has to go. So we don't know. Riots are on Govt on the streets of Paris. As of last night, thousands of voters were angry, smashing windows and stores and fireworks and everything. We don't know why they are still rioting. If they want this far right National Party to come in and that party is winning, so why still scatter everywhere? So anyway, we're watching, following up the news. Macron's center alliance is in third place now. So that means probably by the time the second round of the election holds by, I think that would be 7th of June, July, the 7th, next Sunday, then we will now know the fate of governance in France. George, are you following France?
Yes, I am following. And, you know, what the reason why Macron is moving around is because if the far right individual that is winning the election could not form a government by themselves, then what Macron is trying to do is to find other parties that actually can form a coalition government with him in order to defeat this other fellow. So, but as it looks right now, it looks as if Macron is gone. The way that it looks as if he's gone. And he's been one of the most unpopular prime minister of France. Actually, he's not done very lately. So let's just see what's going on, and then we follow the news and find out.
Yes, by the 7th of July. Okay, go ahead, Raji. Yes.
No, I wanted to ask Sir George whether Macron's lack of popularity has anything to do with his wife.
Well, I'm not sleeping. I'm not in the bedroom with them, so I cannot tell you.
Okay, while we're laughing, let's bring in our man, our coordinator from Russia, Moscow, Russia, Godwin eBay. You're welcome. Welcome to
Thank you
Monday.
so much for having me. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you. So
I can assure you nothing is happening in that bedroom.
George can't know what's happening. Yes, good to have you, Godwin. Godwin, a lot is going on around the world, and also this morning there was that news that the United Kingdom says that Russia is interfering in Russia plans to interfere in their general election coming soon.
Highly likely, yes. Is that the phrase?
Yeah, yes.
Highly likely.
Let's hear the news. Let's hear from you. So what's happening there? Because the British Deputy Prime Minister warned that the country's upcoming election faces threat from, he used the word hostile actors, and he said one of such hostile actors is Russia, seeking to influence their United Kingdom democratic process. So tell us, what's the news there? Are you guys planning some, you know?
It's it's the height of frivolous, non-intelligent. It's not even speculation, but gibberish mouth mouth output. Let me put it that way. Has absolutely nothing to do with fact, reality, intelligence, or any sensible basis. If you look at if you look at
Can,
if
can,
you
I,
look
can,
at
can I ask you a question, Dr. Ide?
let me land now. Then
Let him land. I know you
Okay.
give me judge.
Okay.
Like if you want to look statistically at the countries that interfere the most, you just if you want to do it scientifically, maybe statistically, you just lazily bring out your phone, do some search, and find out who interferes the most in our election, or who is even accused of interfering the most around the world. And then you get your answer, and it's definitely not Russia. Let me, spoil the fun or the surprise a little bit. So it's just rubbish. It's just a claim by a competitor who doesn't have the balls to blame somebody else that they are closer to and decide to pick a scapegoat and just decide it's Russia.
Okay. Anyway, we know what that Reform UK Party leader, that's Nigel. We all know what he's been saying. He's a big challenger to the present government, and he's also been saying things about the NATO starting up, igniting what has now become this fight between Ukraine and Russia. And some of his comments are really making some weight in the space. George, so if he's saying those things and it sounds like it's true to some people's ears, yes, there could be some interest in governance in the UK. What do you think?
We can deny all we want to. We can statistically or pontificate or whatever we want to call it. The truth of the matter is there is no smoke without fire. So if there is that intelligence that is saying that there might be, highly plausible that they're going to be doing this, it's just almost like during the time when Mrs. Clinton and our orange-haired man, was, during the election. There was a whole lot of interference. Number one is they use the social media to influence a lot, bring a lot of lies out, put it out there, and because some of these things they are done, just to influence the people's mind about certain candidates. So it is done. Now, when Dr. Ibe was talking about the person that influences election, some people influence election directly. Others go underground and do their own, and then want to come out and shine as if they're not doing anything. So, but yes, I can understand most of these European countries and United States of America, they do influence a lot of elections, especially Nigerian election, because they know that certain type of people, when they come or they get elected, and they know what they know, and these people might not be easy to be manipulated. So that is the reason why they rather choose somebody who got a lot of skeletons in their closet. So when they squeeze them, they will squirm and then do whatever that they need. So I do understand where he's coming from when he said that, but you cannot also deny the fact that Russia does meddle sometimes, because according to Dr. Godwin, Russia never uses the bathroom. They're always really clean in the living room, doing anything.
Raji,
Let me add something very quickly to what you said. Look, there is a Sir George. There is a smoke there's a fire, but what you're doing is that you are pointing to the teddy bear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not connected. There's a smoke. There's a fire, but you decide to point to the teddy bear.
Let's hear from other people too. Do you believe
the problem?
Mhm.
The problem of the smoke, smoke without fire or fire without smoking. We have got into the science where we can produce smoke and there'll be no fire. There'll be no fire whatsoever. Now I know for sure that every information system, every information that is being put aside, we embedded in all this information, all this news, what we call subliminal messaging, that influence people without even their own consciousness.
You guys listen to this.
Now,
it's not just smoke without fire. Listen to this. What happened was there's an Australian Facebook page. Australian Broadcasting Corporation covered a Facebook page that is spreading some pro-Kremlin points on this whole UK election and everything. So that's where it's coming from, and we all saw the link. I saw the link to that page.
So many people in Italy support. So many people in Italy support Russia. So many people in Italy don't like NATO expansion. So many people will connect with Russia. It doesn't mean they are sponsored by Kremlin. When you say Kremlin interferes, you have to draw a direct connection between Kremlin's sponsorship and those people's views, which you haven't pointed. And that's why I say he's pointing to the teddy bear. Because if you speak about who interferes more, how come in all these statistics, I and George, we agree that we know who really interferes directly? How come that party never mentions it once? How come the party never mentions it once?
Since the Reform Party, that Nigel Farage's party, since they look like they're aligning with Russia, obviously Russia, yes. I mean, we had some of the things he said in the last interview.
They probably looking for, they want cheap energy. Got them. They're missing. They mean cheap energy, for Christ's sake. They don't really like to buy American LNG that's 30% more expensive. They really don't like the inflation. They really wish that many of their people who they are sending as missionaries do not die. There's so many things they wish for, and that would make them want to have that particular worldview. Or maybe they just have problems with the other party, and so their common enemy becomes their friend. You understand? So there could be so many reasons.
So Godwin, you've forgotten when Ukrainian ladies started going into Britain and how they disrupted a lot of homes. I'm sure a lot of British will still be
no doubt. Very beautiful. And the UK men couldn't handle it.
They couldn't handle it.
And you know, sorry, just one second. You know, there's a joke I was just listening that the UK men are very good at sea because they are forced to.
Because they're forced to. Okay, guys, let's go on a small. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. This topic sounds interesting because it's brewing now. That we're in that season. UK election comes up soon, and even though Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, has insisted that he will be Prime Minister again come Friday morning. It's on Friday. So maybe we'll be able to also give some updates in our Friday World News. So let's go on a break. Okay. We'll be back, guys. Thank you.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, SSM News Echoes Between the Lines is a lively conversation program on news updates every Monday at 8 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time. giving real-time updates as they affect Africans all over the globe.
Yes, you're welcome back. Monday Between the Lines. And yes, we are checking the lines. I'm here with my colleagues, Godwin Ibe from Roscoe Mosha. I'm here with Raji, Ogbeni Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. So, okay, let's take it that the discussion earlier, let's take it that it's, like you said, my enemy. What was that phrase you used? My common enemy, your enemy becomes. Yes, we can hear you. Say that again. Godwin.
Like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yes,
My friend. Yes, that's well put. Okay, let's move on, guys. There's a story that we have here that I think might interest all of us too. North Korea says they are angry. They condemn. There's a drill going on as we're talking now. There's a drill going on, not too far away from their own end too. So U.S., Japan, South Korea is having a military drill by the south of Korea, and they call that military drill, they call it, it's an Asian version of NATO, drawing close to territory that they shouldn't. So they are warning of fatal consequence if they continue. Godwin, do you have story on that happening? North Korea condemns drill by U.S., Japan, South Korea by their sea end, and they are really saying anything fatal consequence could spring up if they don't take time. So what's your view on that? Let me start with you, Godwin.
It's absolutely disgraceful to, first of all, for a sovereign country to have foreign soldiers on their soil. For example, for whatever reason, it's a shame. The US, for example, will not tolerate even Canadian soldiers on their soil, stationed there permanently. Even Canada, you understand? But these countries seem to derive pleasure in it. I don't know what it is. Bending over backward, maybe it's pleasure, but I don't know. Now, expansion of NATO, you know how much problem it causes around the world, unease, absolutely unnecessary. Because in the last, no matter how people want to say China this, China that, when they have nothing else to say, in the last, since the end of the World War, Second World War, so many decades, it's just the US that have been having a field day, and they've had the Soviet Union to compete with for a while before the dissolution, Cuban military crisis, and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. So they've been unchallenged for so long. There's no need for these wars and pushing, boundaries. Just immediately after the Second World War, you remember how NATO bombed the hell out of Serbia to change the border and form out. What do you call it? Yeah. So it's really no need for this escalation.
No need for this. Yes, but listen to this, George. George, I hope you're with us. Also, Korea is accused of breaching arms control laws by supplying weapons to Russia, as the news says. And what we know also is that there are some things North Korea too goes against, intentional, some geopolitical rules and laws that they just intentionally break and say they don't care whose ox is God. So, George, do you think America having an army a drill by their backyard, does that justify them also doing what they have to do?
Well, listen, there are so many bullying nations that want to go back to the 30s and the 40s when they amalgamate and take over countries. And you must have a force that will checkmate them. And this is exactly because if allowed, they can just go and do whatever they want to do. China is planning it. They're trying with Taiwan. And if you see now, every time you listen to the news from that area, China is always, attacking Philippines, attacking the Indians, So, and there is a little fear that is really going on, dividing and conquer and coming against this way, because there are so many nations that have no conscience. If given the opportunity, they will amalgamate and take over many countries. So there are countries that will be there to checkmate them, to make sure what you're seeing over there in North Korea right now is actual as a result of what North Korea has been doing. You know, you see them, you know, doing a lot of drills, trying to flex their muscles and all that kind of stuff. So somebody gotta be there to say, if you come against this ally nation, I will come against you. And that's exactly what America is doing. And I commend them highly for that, because if given the opportunity, like what's happening with Ukraine and Russia right now, I can guarantee you, unless a force comes that will stop Russia, they will continue until they destroy Ukraine completely. So these are things that you have to make sure that these bullying nations are put in check by some other superpower.
Raji was laughing all the while. All the while.
May I come in there?
Okay.
I think that George is trying to stir the waters and turn it to troubled waters before you can go
throw it at the wall. Anyone that speaks, my God.
It's true. It's true.
The medicine bully we have, and which has been fighting the war every decade since 1776, is the United States. Russia traditionally,
no one has fought as much wars as the US or NATO. It's crazy, absolutely.
Traditionally, Russia, China had never attacked any country directly.
In recent
history, probably with the exception of Russia going into Afghanistan, I don't remember Russia attacking any country.
Not Russia. That was Soviet Union, not even Russia. It's phantom fear.
Right, Raji, I want you guys to bring your strong point, because George just he stirred the waters. That same drilling water they are drilling on.
He just troubled calm waters.
It's not trouble waters. Understand. Listen to this. Okay, say something. No, hold on a second. Okay. The reason why you guys are laughing, you just laughing. The point about
that's the shape of my mouth. No, that's the shape of my mouth. I'm not laughing.
No worries. Let me finish. The point I'm making is this: if given the opportunity, without being checkmate, without what you call the fear of NATO or the fear of US, many of these countries will rise up and go after other nations and want to swallow them up. Do you understand? If I want to stand on my own, I'm a sovereign country and I want to stand on my own. What business do you have in trying to come and take me over? I don't want you. I want to be alone. Let me be. It's a sovereign nation, but they are given the opportunity. They will go out there and begin to conquer. US does a lot of influences.
Look!
Not influence, interference.
Does not fight what it starts wars. Listen, this is a phantom fear. If there's always there's something called military race, or militarization race, however you call it.
Militarization race.
Yes, or arms race, as it's also called sometimes. When the United States arms itself to the tune of $750 billion, which is more than the next 10 countries combined, what do you want them to do? To demilitarize? It doesn't make sense. You start the militarization race, you start the arm race, you start the wars, you fight the most wars, and you're worried that somebody might start a war. What kind of that's
let me put something in for George also. Let me put something for you guys.
It's ridiculous.
The honest truth is, North Korea also, let's be honest, North Korea has no mouth, like George is trying to say anything about anybody stirring up water, because they've been a source of tension in that Korean.
That's
North
right.
Korea has never attacked any country.
What are you talking about? Tension and war, is it the same thing?
North Korea has never attacked any
nobody's
country
fighting the war yet. But
No, but we were talking about real
events.
events, countries that have fought real wars since,
but-
and they have the habit of doing that.
Don't go off the news. The news is North Korea says that they are not in there might be some fatal consequence because
repercussions. Yes,
US, Japan, South Korea is having drill by that corner, that peninsula. That's the news. It's a news.
Yes,
You're right.
You're right. But the tension.
Hold tight. So now we are bringing our views into this. And George said something very patent. George said what he said, and I'm also adding to what George said that yes, the same North Korea that is bringing this whole issue of the US and Japan should not do this, they are the one that creates more tension in that peninsula.
That's wrong. That's
not true. That is not true.
No, they do.
That is not true.
I don't understand. Is it that we don't listen to the same news? Do we not read the same news?
Of course.
Is there something that you guys listen to that we don't listen to? Because I'm very surprised that you can stand over there and pontificate over what North Korea is doing and not doing. Let me tell you something. Can I say something?
Let's take a.
Hold on. Let me just say it this way.
North Korea has never started a war.
Dr. North Korea coming to say they condemn what US and South Korea is doing. Let me tell you, North Korea is full of mouth. They just want to be recognized. The point, listen to me. An angry dog have never seen a drunk wolf before. So if they condemn it, let them go and do something and see how they're going to be cleared up. So all these little things is just wolf tickets. We are calling it wolf tickets. So they should not condemn anything based on what they have done in the past.
Because they have no ability or history of creating wars. So there's no need to talk about any tension. If you say they have mouth, I agree with you. They have mouth, but they don't fight war. Then they do not create the tension. What are you worried about?
Because they're not being allowed to fight war. If given the opportunity, they will. They will.
You just said they have mouth.
The fear of NATO and the fear of US that is stopping them.
It's like people that say that Russian army is so weak. I cannot defeat a common militia. But at the same time, they are afraid that Russia will go all the way to Polish border. Very contradictory.
George,
you just say they have mouth. So how come you're afraid of the action? Contradictory, absolutely.
Probably Raji and Godwin have, they're listening to. No, but it's all good. Everybody.
Mark, you are sounding biased.
North Korean. No. Do you know the recent thing North Korean did?
You are both biased, honestly, because there's no need.
Balloons with trash.
And sent it over.
To
yes.
Let's see what this guy said. North Korea has
let's take some.
It's
like. Let's take comments from our viewers too. It's good to make them feel.
What they did reminded me of fella.
Listen to this comment. Starlight Entertainment is seriously with us. He's following. He says the only interference in election is done by AIP. Okay, that was where we were talking of something about that. Then he also came to say that US does not fight war. It starts war. That's the difference. And all the wars they start is because of resources and financial control. Yes, that's Starlet said. Okay.
Simple.
Starlet also continued and said, North Korea has the threat of mutual assurance of destruction. So the US have to gang up on them with their neighbors. Nice. Okay. And he says, Sir George, name any war between neighboring countries that an English country has never started. Sir George, that's directed to you. Okay, anyway, the good thing is Starlight Entertainment is following us.
The viewers are they're not buying that. They're not buying that.
Sir George, he said, name any war that the English, they have not started.
We didn't start. Which one?
The English country has not started.
The ones that are happening in Ethiopia and Somalia, US did not start it.
Even Kenya, US said Kenya is a major non-NATO ally. Protest, my God.
So now the war in Nigeria, US did not start it. The war that we had in Nigeria, US did not start it. So let's be clear that we are listening to the balanced news.
Yes. No, but
he means recent, actually. I think he means recent war. I mean, there's no recent war that at least the US does not support one side geopolitically, majorly. I don't think there's anyone. It's really no one.
To a lot of allied countries. You have to understand that. And they have a responsibility to, they don't give them a responsibility to make sure that their allies are protected, and that is the good of it. And thank God for US. If not, the likes of Russia and China would have taken over and swallowed all the countries. We
anyway, you guys, nice. Yeah. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Come to it again. Let's come to something that's serious. This morning, a group of people, we're coming back home to Nigeria now, viewers. You're still tuned to Between the Line, Monday, 1st of July. Guys, let's talk about a group of people raised in Nigeria. They say they are urging Tinubu, our president, not to repeat the mistake of Buhari by having a nepotistic government. He said, don't repeat Buhari's nepotism. You know, that people should be picked, leaders and should be picked on competence, you know, skill, and not just because he's my brother, he's my townsperson, he's my that. Now, what their reason is this. They said most of the service chiefs in Nigeria in the last decades have come from the north. The north of Nigeria. And interestingly, the same north of Nigeria is where you have high level of tourism, banditry, and all this heinous crime happening. So how come you have a chief of staff, chief of army, chief of navy staff, all these service chiefs, all from the north, and still we have all this? George, let me start with you. You think this is right?
I mean, whoever that is saying that should, with all due respect, shut up. That's what I say. Whoever is complaining about this should, with all due respect, be quiet. The reason being, for the 8 years of Buhari, we saw what he did with all impetus and what, he didn't even care. He changed the conversation. He put all his people in the right places at the right time without anybody saying anything. Right now they're complaining. I think Asiwaju should continue to do what he's doing. Put his own people that he trusts in power, change all the conversation in Nigeria. I don't give a care. Because you know why? Because when it was their turn, they made sure that every army general, all of them, everybody in the right places, all the chiefs, they are all Fulani people. So what mouth do they have to complain? Because now it's almost looking as if, the tide is changing and they want to complain. Please be quiet and allow the man to govern the nation the way he sees it fits. Because if I was there, I will tell you, if I was the president of Nigeria, I will not be a Jonathan. I will make sure that my people are well represented. That's why it's a rotational presidency. When you go there, you know your people, you know what is being lacked in your nation. Under the constitution, help your people. Jonathan did not do it when he was in power because he was afraid. He never fixed anything in his own country. Even the road leading to his own house was not even fixed. Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't think so. So personally, I believe and I know that if Asiwaju is strong enough to continue doing what he's doing, let him do what he needs to do. I don't want him to be a tangent, but he can come in the middle.
Okay.
He can come in the middle and choose the right people.
But George, you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
So what's the point that I'm missing?
Okay, right.
May I come in there, please?
May I come in there? I hope you guys heard what I said clearly. Understand?
Let me come in there, Mark. Mark, let me come in there. Now you mentioned the word nepotism. Nepotism is when you bring your own relatives into yes. I don't think what is happening with Tinubu is nepotism. He may be sectional in most of his appointments, but it's not nepotism. I don't think he has so many relations that he can fix into all those places in government. It's not nepotism. It may be sectional. Yes, and And you see, even during Buhari's regime, a president will choose the people he has worked with, he knows. That's why Buhari was choosing all those old people because he had no connection with the youth. He had no connection with the youth, so he could only choose people in his age grade. That's why we had a lot of geriatrics, and then gradually some young people came in who are basically incompetent. But whatever Tinubu is doing, he worked with the team when he was governor of Lagos, and in his own mind, they achieved something. So he wants to replicate the same thing at the national level. But I don't think he's being pushing nepotism. No, I don't think so.
I totally agree with Raju and also partly with George as well, because they're not actually contradicting themselves. The man should keep quiet because he didn't say anything in the last 8 years. If he says the Buhari made a mistake, why didn't he say Buhari made a mistake when the mistake was being made? Why is it now that he's calling refer? Is he recall? Is he Windows recall? We need him to know the history. Anyway, as also Raji has said, it's actually not nepotism if it's not family members. You can call it tribalism, party politics, but I think nepotism is rightly defined and should be used correctly.
Dr. Ibe, you see, the point that I'm making is this, okay? There's a reason why we have what you call this rotational presidency, which is one of the reasons why I'm wondering up until now, what is PDP, their man, doing? Why is he rising up knowing that the presidency belongs to the South? And he is still going out there trying to trouble the water when he's not supposed to be troubled. He's moving around trying to flex his muscles. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you don't have to directly come against a particular thing. You can go behind the window and try to, open the back window so that mosquito can come in and bite everybody instead of the front door. Why the front door is locked. And this is what article is doing. So I do not.
Party, what do you expect him to do? He's an opposition party. What do you expect him to do?
Well, okay, let him be an opposition all he wants to. But the point is, what political or diplomatic move is he making? He is from the North and he knows that he cannot, in the next 4-5 years, he will not and cannot be the president in Nigeria. So why is he making all this nonsense? Trying to go around that. Okay, so no, what I'm saying is this: there is some sort of politics that is being played. If you really know what I'm talking about, because when he came out to run in the first place last time, when PDP chose him instead of Peter Obi, he knew that it was impossible for him to win and to become the president because he's from the North. We have this handshake that we have, political handshake that we respect, which is rotational. So when he knew that he cannot be the president, why would he go and muscle himself to become the the nominee for PDP? Why? Why can't you allow your individual? So that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes,
so this is what you say. Let Asiwaju, let Jagaban do what he's supposed to do. Continue doing, but please get some good people that are efficient, intelligent enough that can fit into those positions and put them there. I don't care where they come from. I'm sorry.
I mean, he live long. Otherwise, we'll have Shetima. What? No.
Okay. Let me. Now, I'm not saying it as a news. This is my own opinion. I think whoever is saying this is very true. Yes, if we use the terminology nepotism, yes, it's family related. So let's put it tribalism. But I must tell you of a truth. I have been in governance. I understand government. This government has some form of tribalism and nepotism running. George, you probably don't know this. Now listen to me. Let's break it down. Leave the past. Let's not bring the past. Buhari's regime has gone. Now, you can't have the chief of staff, the chief of army staff, the chief of naval staff, all from one corner of the world, one part of Nigeria, and still look at what is happening with with our security. That's number one. Number two, the CBN chief Cardoso was a bank manager, a failed bank manager. The bank he came from failed and packed up, and they made him CBN chief because he's a friend and from the same place and tribal man.
Which bank? Please name the bank.
Cardoso, don't worry. No, you know what I'm
saying. Name the bank. Right? No, you can't just tweet like that. Name the bank.
I'm looking at time. So now let us look at things professional. Let us look at things unbiased. Of a truth, Nigerian leadership since the conception of democracy has always been nepotic. Nigerian leadership have always been my brother, my people, my person, my own that comes into governance when I'm there. So that is my own
something. Can I say something? Thank you. Yes. I thank you for this. You know, let me tell you something. When I become the president of Nigeria, I will make sure that Dr. Ibe leaves Russia to come, or he will become my ambassador there.
Nice.
I will make sure that I take this. Raji. I will make sure that Raji will represent me because I know him.
Nice.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this, and you will be my media guy. You will be the media guy for me when I become the president of Nigeria. So what I'm saying is this. Listen to this. I do understand there is an element of it, and there is a strong points that you're making towards what is going on. But do you know why I support it? Do you know why I support it? As wrong as it might be, completely, if it is not balanced, I support it because when the others were doing it, nobody said anything. Everybody was quiet. Nobody. These people that are complaining now never complained. Why would they not come and say, sir, Buhari,
double standard. You hate double standard. I feel you. You hate double standard. Beautiful.
I just
when
don't
not to attack Iraq, Afghanistan, Now when Russia come, you don't hate double standard. Very selective hating the double standard.
No, I love Russia. I love Russia. The only thing I don't like is the lives that are being lost.
Yes, let's pull the plug with this small story. They said billions of dirty and bad notes that was taken during that time of the change of money and all that, blah, blah, blah. 100 billion of that amount of money has not been accounted for. And this is now calling up the central bank chief and finance department and all that. So 100 billion naira, dirty notes, bad notes, and other large sum of cash that has been in examination and all that have not been accounted for. Gentlemen,
yeah, it doesn't mean that it's lost. Yes. It's just that it hasn't been accounted for. They said we all know that we have a snake in Nigeria. So when they said it's not been accounted for, it means they haven't found the snake.
The snake was swallowed 36 billion.
It's also possible. It's also possible that it was supposed to be shredded, but got back into circulation somehow.
Okay. Now, before we pull the plug, let's hear readers, viewers are following us, guys. Ghost Sampling says, "Hello, I'm a proponent for the Green Party candidate from Belgium." Ghost Sampling, yes. So, do you want us to advertise you? Do you want us to have you in the show? You're free to connect with us. Ghost Sampling, we're here for you. Thank you also for connecting, for joining the new stream. Starlight Entertainment says, "I bet it's a Fulani man that's complaining. I support Sir George on this one." Sir George, somebody supporting you now. Now you have a supporter. All right, guys. It's been nice. Godwin, pull the plug. You're good at pulling the plug. You said something about snake not coming. Tell us. Say that.
Yeah, I said we have a what do you call it? A famous
Cobra,
snake
that they swallow $36 billion.
That swallows billions of dollars. It's just that for so many decades since after colonialism, we haven't yet developed effective recticide. So we're still working on it. So even insecticide.
There has already been one case of a snake swallowing money. Only one. That doesn't make it general.
How much did they swallow? How much did they swallow? How much did they swallow?
A few millions, but it's not up to a
No,
billion.
36 billion.
No. It
36,
couldn't have been 36
36
billion.
billion. Yes.
It couldn't have been 36
Were
billion.
you there when the
All
snake
right.
was swallowing it?
All
Were
right,
you
guys.
there?
Guys, yes, you pulled off
Were
a
you-
good
if
report.
you-
Nice. Viewers, thank you so much. Starlet and Starlet and all those that contributed. Ghost sampling.
Ghost.
Thank you all for joining Monday Between the Lines. Good one. Godwin, thank you for coming through. George,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
how do we join in the the Canada Day?
Happy Canada Day. We are having fun. It's a beautiful, the weather is amazing. The weather is amazing. God has just blessed us with such a wonderful day. So tonight we are going out to have fun, barbecues. I just came back from golfing a few minutes ago. So right now, young John is with us in Canada here. He's doing a concert. So we're going there to jump up and down with him and have a wonderful time.
I understand. I understand maple leaf vegetable soup is very good with
definitely. Oh yes, very good, very good.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
All right.
Have a beautiful week.
Viewers from around the world, thank you for joining us today.
Enjoy your day, man.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.